Well, as you know, we have a new coworker. We just saw him, so we thought it was a great time to talk about social dynamics and building friendships at work while he's not here. We think this is a great idea. Dr. Karin Ryan, a psychologist with Nystrom and Associates, is here to talk about navigating workplace relationships. This is a big deal. We love Ben. We don't want to talk any ill will toward Ben. We love having him in the workplace, but research confirms that if you have a good friend or you have a good relationship with someone in an office setting, the productivity just soars.
Yes. Yeah, the productivity, the morale, your kind of sense of enjoyment at work, that goes up. And even the sense of like advancement, right? Because you think if we get along with people, we build each other up. So there's so many benefits to having a friend or friendships at work.
The problem, though, that can happen, and I know Twin Cities Live, we are a family, and if you work closely with people like we do on the show, maybe there needs to be some boundaries set because it kind of becomes, we say, work wife, work husband situation. So how do we set those boundaries, and should we do it early on?
Yeah, I think that's a helpful idea. And I think it's recognizing when is it time to be social, when is it time to interact and kind of get to know one another, and then when is it time to kind of get down to business or focus or problem solve or work on a project. And it can be simple, like you check in at the start of a meeting and then, okay, let's now get to business, right? Or when you come in for the day, you're kind of connecting, socializing, and then kind of focusing. And so it's finding A, the balance of like time, and then B, it's sometimes thinking too about how many personal details are we sharing, right? Different, you spend 8 hours together,
right?
But some at work, you have time in and out, and so really having those boundaries of when are we talking about personal things and when are we working?
When are we working? That's an important question. Okay, so how do you develop those positive relationships at work? Because if you're new like Ben, or I've worked here for 11 years, there are people that change jobs. We have new employees starting all the time. How do you use to create those positive work relationships?
One of the first things is to show up. So show up to meetings, show up in the break room, show up at different places, and just start talking, start connecting with people. And again, with boundaries, but starting to share a little bit of that personal information. Oh, what did you do this weekend? What are you doing for the 4th? And then you naturally start to connect with people. Be proactive in helping, being willing to help somebody else out. Hey, can I help you on this project? And then being willing, if somebody's like, hey, can I help you with that? I've got some extra time. Yes, please. Being trustworthy, and then being thoughtful about how much are you gossiping or talking negatively. It's not that we always have to be positive at work, right? Because life's not always easy, right? But if we're always negative, that's going to rub off. And just like with other friendships, if we know we hang out and we hear this person talking negatively about that person, same thing at work. Well, then what is she saying or he's saying about me?
Right, exactly.
And so kind of trying to keep the positivity and not gossip can be really helpful.
I would imagine there's a lot of people working from home these days, and keeping these and maintaining relationships with people that you work with can be tricky. Has this been difficult for a lot of people?
It has been, yeah, and I think some companies or offices are trying to be intentional. So how do you do some Zoom connecting? And so when you get on, can you start with those just dialogues and socializing and talking versus just getting right into the meeting? Because you've been on the meetings that I have where everybody's just sitting there.
Right, or their screens are on, or maybe they're off. Right, exactly. Okay.
And so kind of with comfort level, doing some social outings too. So yes, you're working from home, but can we gather physically and have that connected time? Because that can really make a difference.
Okay, conflict in a work relationship. This feels icky. It can feel bad, and also I feel like a lot of times it can be pushed under a rug because I'll get to this. I don't want to confront this person. But you say that maybe is what you should do, right?
Yeah, but like you're saying, conflict's going to happen. It happens everywhere, and it's hard at work, right? Because there's all these different dynamics. And so one of the first things is just making sure that you're communicating and communicating often. And so if you have regular check-ins or you're noticing like we're just kind of missing, we're miscommunicating, we're not understanding, this keeps coming up, setting a weekly meeting so then it's not like, oh, I need to see you. We naturally connect every week. We can communicate, check the facts, make sure there's understanding. Right? If you find yourself kind of getting annoyed or frustrated with that colleague, taking a second to kind of check yourself for judgments. Like, am I being really rigid on how things are supposed to be?
Okay.
Right? I also think tying in emotional intelligence. And what I mean by that is checking in with yourself. How am I doing emotionally? How are my thoughts? And then really thinking about what is this other person thinking or feeling? With the added piece of, and what are their expectations and jobs and roles at this job? Because let's say you're working on a shared project and you need to do this, but this person has to do this, and they're different. It's, oh wait, they're coming at me with this pressure because this is their expectation, this is mine. And that understanding can really be helpful when like, what are they thinking and feeling?
I also think being very self-aware. that maybe you are the problem, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Being self-aware of the situation and your emotions as well. Okay, well, Dr. Ryan, always such a great treat to have you here. And workplace relationships, we'll talk to Ben when he's here. We won't talk about him, we'll talk with him about this. All right, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Nystrom Associates provides care in the fields of psychiatry, psychology, family therapy, and more. If you're struggling with stress, anxiety, depression, or addiction, reach out to them today.